What is up, guys? So last time we came here, we saw those giant yellowfin tuna, and I'm back here again. This time we brought chum, we brought the right gear. We're gonna go out here, we're gonna see if we can find them. Got the girls today. They're chilling, drinking Trulies on the beach or the rocks. And Aaron and the guys are already out there, so I'm gonna run out there and join them. Check back in the water. So this right here was the very first dive of the day. And like I said in that last video, my first warm-up is just to dive straight to the bottom. Now this spot tends to have a lot of fish, real shallow, and I thought I could get a fish on this dive, which is pretty cool, your first dive of the day. Now, I knew I had 6 people to feed fish to that night. That was the plan. And if you spearfish around Hawaii, getting food for 6 people from the ocean is not always easy on a limited time frame. So today, I was kind of shooting whatever I had to. These little goats right here, we take them to a restaurant, they steam them whole, and they're incredible. So I really wanted to get a handful of these guys to feed to the crew. You can see this little goat keeps coming back and forth. I spooked him right there. But if you're relaxed and you stay there and you give those fish no reason to leave, they'll stay and you can get another shot just like this. Nice shot to the head. Pulled them out of the rocks, no problem. So when I got to the surface, this is unbelievable. I get to the surface, I haven't even reloaded yet. I'm just about getting ready to load, and then look at that thing. Huge, what I think now is a big-eyed tuna, swam right up to me on the surface. I saw him again here, and then again. I don't know what I was doing here. I loaded my 100 centimeter finally, and I did a drop. Honestly, I probably would have taken a shot with this gun. Who knows what would have happened? It probably would have been a bad idea, but unbelievable fish, and I was stoked. All right, guys. So I just went out there, I just shot a little goat, and like 100-pound yellowfin tuna swam right up to me on the surface. Dumb as a rock, came right in, no chum, nothing in the water, nothing. So I came back, I got the float, I attached to my big gun. We're gonna get the chum and we're gonna go back out there. He's gonna be waiting right there for me. Got my cocaine case of chum there.
I would really like some sushi tonight, so I'm hoping that this works out.
Look at this! I just shot that teeny tiny thing and like 100-pound yellowfin tuna came up. It was insane. I hate chum. It was the grossest thing ever. There's anchovies. I couldn't find any sardines when I went to South Point yesterday. That's all they had. Not ideal, but we will try it.
Thank you, Hex, for providing our chum bag.
So I still hadn't seen Aaron and his brother, but I assumed they were down the coast somewhere, they were together, and they would meet me back right in front of where I was. Now I was right in front of the girls diving, which is pretty incredible. Usually there's a crazy swim involved, there's something, but we were right there, right off the ledge is where I saw that tuna. So somebody in the last video asked about chumming, so I'll talk a little bit about it now. But basically, you bring your chum in a bag. It could be sardines, anchovies, cut up fish scraps, whatever you got. And the key is kind of to let it out at a kind of slow rate. A lot of people tend to want to chum too much, too fast. And you just run out of chum like that. It doesn't really do what you're looking to do. You want that kind of scent and those little pieces of food just to drift down through the water column. Now, sometimes the current is a little different on the surface versus down. And you might need to swim a little bit into the current slowly to keep yourself in that spot over top of the chum. Now, you're trying to let all the little fish eat. You really want to create this safe ecosystem environment where the bait fish can feed. Maybe these little jobbies are in here. I don't even know what these are. If anybody knows what these are, let me know. They're like little, I thought they were rusty jobfish, but I don't think they actually are. They might just be those little black ones you always see on the reef. I'm not really sure. But anyways, the key is to keep everything kind of healthy around you and wait for that big predator to come in. Now you can see right here, this wahoo comes in hot. And actually, I had already seen him before I clicked this GoPro on. I put the chum bag in my belt, I turned the GoPro on, and I did a really, really slow drop. And that's kind of key with wahoo. I just kind of get down a little bit to their level, really slow. If you look at the specs on the screen, you can see I'm not swimming at them, I'm not swimming any direction, I'm just kind of going down just a little bit and freezing. And he gave me this beautiful shot. Now, you can see right here, it looks kind of strange. Why is my reel line going and the float line going? Well, what happened was, I thought I was looking for yellowfin tuna, and I knew my reel gun wouldn't be enough, So I figured I'll just, rather than set up a full breakaway, I'll just clip off the float line to the connection point of my reel line to my shooting line. In theory, I was like, I'll just drop the gun, this'll be fine. Hopefully for a tuna, it doesn't really matter how much pressure you put on it, no big deal. Unfortunately, this wahoo crossed back over my float line, strung the shaft, so the shaft went all the way through the fish, and snagged onto my float line. So now, as you can see right here, I kind of had a tangled disaster. I still have the gun in my hand. The fish isn't really fighting hard, and I thought I got a really awesome shot. And so I thought this fish was in the bag. I decided I'd let the gun go, just let it free drift. I know I've got the float line connected well, everything should be fine. Unfortunately, he makes another run right here, I think. Makes another run right here, pulls the gun down, there it is, and then we get to the end of my float line, which is not a good place to be with a static float line. No bungee involved, no slip tip, even though he was strung. So I couldn't push the float forward anymore. Normally I'm trying to push the float forward, take as much pressure off the fish as I can, but I couldn't do that here because he was going straight down. So I'm trying to push as much as I can. I'm kind of freaking out in my head. I really thought I had this fish though. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna screw this up. Now, if you know me at all, you know I've got kind of an awful history with wahoo. I hate them, they hate me. I see them all the time to the point where like I don't even dive on them. Like they'll come in on the flasher with 3 or 4 people and I'll look at everybody else and be like, I'm not about to lose this fish. Like someone else go and lose it. So it's pretty bad history of wahoo. And recently I've done a little bit better. I've really kind of, I feel like I've had a little bit better success rate. But this one, that did not happen. And I can feel the line just went slack. And I was like, please, please, please be swimming upwards. And of course he wasn't. And I lost this fish. It would have been a freaking dream fish right from the rocks. Girlfriend, all the friends are sitting right there on the beach 100 feet away. Would have been really, really cool. So you can see I pulled this thing up. I've got a tangled kook disaster here. Who knows if I had it rigged up breakaway, if it would have been any better. If you get that shot right below the spine shot in the head, a lot of times it ends up being sort of a gut shot and it just tears out all the way back. So I went out there looking for tuna and I shot a beautiful wahoo. Like a beautiful 30, 40 pounder, I don't know, in the head. Fought him, and he tore off. I cried. I could not believe it. Right there, chumming. Saw a giant GT. A lure came up in the chum. Some beautiful little job fish. I don't know what they were. Some kind of red one, some type. It's incredible. Incredible. Where's the rest of the guys? So I've only got a limited amount of chum, and I think it'll get better as it gets darker. So I'm gonna take the small gun, get some more fish for dinner, and wait, and then take the chum and the big gun out as the sun goes down a little bit more. Hey, I found you guys.
Yeah.
What'd you guys see?
We saw one blue trevally.
Okay.
Not quite as big as that one we saw the other day.
Yeah.
But we spent most of our time pretty shallow.
So these are both species of some kind of kawa or knife fish. The surgeon fishes?
Yeah.
You see there are like blades in the back?
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know exactly what they both are, Pilanes or something. This one's an opelocala for sure.
Yeah.
And then this one is a Pilani or something. There's so many different kinds.
They're both good for eating.
Yeah, I mean, they eat them a lot here. They eat them locally quite a bit. Aaron and his brother didn't bring any guns. They just brought the 3-prong. So he said to me, he's like, hey, do you want to do a deep dive? And I was like, absolutely. Come out here to that same kind of area I was in the other day with the moo and watch me. So I did another really deep dive, maybe in that 100, 120 foot range. Got down here to the bottom. Again, I had that small gun. I only had that 100 centimeter roller, which is not typically my moo gun. It's more of my goatfish and small reef fish gun. But you can see that bottom is very similar to that last video. Nice, beautiful boulders. You can actually see here too on the bottom a little bit maybe all the lines going back and forth across the bottom. And this is a fairly popular alua fishing spot. So it comes a lot of lines on the bottom. So I always try and be really careful laying here to make sure none of my feet or fins get tangled. But you can see these couple moo, and they're kind of out there, and they're coming in. I'm not really in my reef diving mode, so I'm definitely not as comfortable as I normally am if I'm doing repetitive reef dives. I was still super amped on that fish. But they come in, I think about doing the lunge here. I don't know if I ever planned on taking the shot, but sometimes I'll just do a lunge just to see how close I can get. But this is when it gets crazy. So remember, I had just lost the wahoo, ran into shore, changed out guns, came back out, and then look at that. Did you see that? Huge, big eye, ahi, something, I don't know, came right by. Everybody was down, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. I had done one reef dive. This is like the third time I've been back and forth now to swap out guns. So we're kind of freaking out.
Holy crap! That thing is freaking huge!
What the heck?
What is it doing?
We're kind of freaking out and decided to go back to shore, swap out the small gun for the big gun, and get the chum again and see if we can make this happen.
Let's go get the big gun and the chum.
So we just came back again. I did one dive for the moo. Huge tuna, straight past us. Another 80, 90, 100 pounder. I don't know if it's the same one. I don't know if it's going back and forth. They saw it. I found Aaron. Unbelievable. I'm back again for the big giant gun and the chum. We'll see what happens.
Guys, don't come back without something that can be eaten as sushi.
Trying.
Not allowed. Yeah. Float girl.
So we went back out there, and now we had all the crew, we had the flasher, we got the chum, and unfortunately, the only thing we had come up was this shark here. Now, I'm no shark expert, I don't know exactly what this is. I don't know if it's a sandbar or a Galapagos or something, but really added insult to injury at the end of a long day to have nothing but this shark cruising around eating the chum. Now, I really enjoy this type of deep reef hunting. You can kind of see the reef there in the footage, and what's really cool about that is it lets you do deep reef hunting as well. So while you're sitting there, you're waiting for the blue water, you can kind of wait for deep diving opportunities. You know, maybe you drift in a little bit closer to ledge and you can do that deeper dive and hunt the reef fish. I do this a lot all over the world, especially with this gun right here, because maybe I'm hunting dogtooth tuna in Fiji, but I could also do a deep dive and shoot a snapper or shoot a coral trout. So that's pretty much exactly what happened here. I'm on the reef and I decide, hey, nothing's going on in the blue water. Let me do a deeper drop. I still only have one fish in the box and I'm supposed to feed 6 people tonight for dinner. So again, beautiful Moana collies coming right into me. They're super curious at this time of day. They're super slow. Awesome headshot there. And that's what's so special about this gun. I mean, I just shot a 1-pound fish with the same gun that I was getting ready to shoot a 100-pound yellowfin tuna with. So that's pretty special. I really enjoy these rollers for that exact purpose. I mean, there's not too many blue water guns that I could also drop to the bottom and feel no worries at all in the world at shooting a 1-pound fish. So we went back again to the shoreline. We found out the girls are hungry. They're ready for dinner. They've been sitting there drinking all day on the rocks. And I was like, I have like 2 fish for dinner right now. So I'm like, let me grab my small gun, guys. Let me go back out here. I'm gonna collect a few fish for dinner because this is really what I do best. You know, I'm on the reef, I'm hunting small fish, I'm shooting a lot. And so I go out here and I'm looking for these joes. And I know that's what we wanna cook whole at the restaurant. So you can see this one right here comes in nice and easy. I've got that small gun again. I'm like a laser with this thing. Good headshots. We're gonna steam these guys whole and they're gonna be delicious. Next one, you can see that light is getting really low. I find that a lot of fish here in Hawaii really seem to come out and get a little dumb as the light gets lower. You can see this Joe here, he's mating, spawning, I don't know, he's racing around trying to get with the females. You can see he's all lit up real pretty, and I'm tracking him here. He's chasing these females around. It's really cool. This is, again, something you really only see as the sun gets lower and lower. You can see how dark it is here, but really cool fish, all lit up, swimming sideways, coming right in. I don't know how I made this shot, but worked out awesome. I usually don't like to shoot fish as they're moving that fast. But got a solid stone shot on there on another delicious fish. So again, we got one more Joe here. Same thing, hidden down in the rocks, really slow and steady. You can see he comes right over, and another nice Joe for dinner. You can see a lot of times I'll grab them before I go to the surface. Just want to make sure they're secure and they don't tear off on that way to the top. This was really cool. The moo out here obviously is a really tough fish. It's not an easy fish, especially for people that have never done it before. This is not a big one, but this was Aaron's first one, so any moo is a cool moo, and he was pretty stoked on this one. It got a little tangled up on the rocks. I went down, I dislodged it, but he was pumped. That's all that matters. Awesome fish. This one will cook up delicious tonight whole. He's pumped.
Got it?
Yeah. What's up?
Hey everybody, welcome to Ryan's Bag.
Welcome to my channel.
Welcome to my channel.
What do you want?
So we went back out there, we grabbed a couple more reef fish for dinner, and absolutely unbelievable day. How was today, man?
Incredible. We're gonna bring some fresh fish back home to the States for our cat. He's gonna love it.
That's awesome. So we're gonna take a couple of these reef fish, and I think we're gonna go cook them up right now. They're gonna be, no?
You're doing good. Don't look at my face.
How was your day?
It was awesome. Saw a lot of stuff I'd never seen before. Giant trevally just now, so that was pretty dope.
Huge giant trevallies, big yellowfin tuna. I lost that giant wahoo. Absolutely really, really cool day. From the girls, how was your day?
We had a great time.
We drink Trulies. We're wonderful.
They had a very productive day here on the
We
rocks.
want to be fed now, so we gotta go.
We're ready for some sushi.
Time for food! Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video at all, make sure to hit that like button and make sure you subscribed. I know a lot of you guys are watching, you're not subscribed. Go do that now. I got another video coming out in a couple days, 3-pronging Hawaii style with the legend Justin Lee. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.